Welcome to an H-Town segment of AEW Dynamite Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust to tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the Scoot Bro himself, that I can't say no to, Mr. Scoot.0.
I'm officially a 2.0, bro.
You see?
Jumping on the ship.
I'm there. Last night proved it. I'm there.
And we're definitely gonna talk about that as well. But before we even get into that, I have to let the ladies enjoy the introduction. The heartthrob of the IWC himself. If you were in attendance in H-Town at AEW Dynamite, you probably rubbed elbows with this man and didn't even realize the magnificence that touched you. Mr. Jaeger, bombastic, so fantastic that if you had the pleasure of meeting him, you might not even get your soul back. Or you just might have a heart attack.
I mean, nickname should be Shang Tsung at this point.
Oh. Your soul is mine. I like that. I do like that. Plenty of people in attendance around me. Good show all around. Plenty of Bullet Club shirts as typical.
Yeah. Yeah, you were definitely visible. That's for damn sure. You were visible throughout the entirety of the show.
I was trying to look for him, but I guess I was so focused of the ring and I wasn't focused on looking at the crowd. But we do have evidence that Mr. Bombastic was visible.
Yeah, well, it's also funny because I noticed him immediately during the first match, and I was like, wait, yep, there he is. And then after that, I could not unsee it. So like every time like the camera panned that way, I was like, yep, so he is. So it's like I could literally tell everything that he was doing during that time. I knew when he took a drink of beer. I knew when he was recording something. I knew when he was shouting shit. He also flipped off MJF. When MJF flipped him off, it was big time. Yeah, yes. big time. See, I caught everything.
However, I'm pretty sure like that's the most amount of birds I've seen flipped at MJF from like one concurrent section.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, AEW was fan-fucking-tastic. Like, and that's not just a bias because they were here, but that's just for the way that they started off the show to the way that they ended off the show. Everything just like I don't know if it's because of what could potentially happen this week, or just like the hype train behind AEW right now, but just last night's AEW was just fantastic, and we're gonna jump into it.
Hold on. Now the great thing about this episode is we're gonna get it from two perspectives. You're gonna get me and Dizzle's perspective for watching it on TV, and you're gonna get the Heartthrob's perspective being there
because he was definitely in attendance.
He was definitely in attendance. And with that being said, I really ain't got no news. I know Jaeger got something, but that can roll around to when we talk about the elite and all that.
Yeah.
First things first, how was that reception for Moxley?
Oh, so Wild Thing is definitely a thing for the fans.
Okay.
It was sang pretty well unison, and I went through the show, and yeah, I mean it seems like they got it pretty spot on there.
Nice.
Yeah, like all the pops, all the chants that I heard were very well echoed like throughout the show. So it's Yeah, no, like it's hitting pretty spot on, but the energy you feel from it is just it's great, especially once you have like a beer or two in you. But but you'll notice that as the progression of the night goes on, there was one guy in particular, but that's like more towards the Jericho and Moxley or in MJF match, but he just kept trying to get the chant "twist his dick" going.
Wait,
What?
Yeah, there was like one or two fans, like a couple of rows behind me, that just kept trying to get "twist his dick" going as a chant.
so
And
wait, whose dick did they want to have twisted?
And
I'm assuming, I'm assuming and hoping like they wanted MJF's dick twisted by Jericho,
Huh? Okay.
but just to hear it was just funny to like just chant for a second.
That's a very unique chant.
Well, it's a reference to apparently like a clip from a UFC fight where this dude was like recording and he was in attendance and this dude a couple rows back just yells out "twist his dick" and he's like, what the like dude's like what the f-? And then he's like, yeah, twist his dick, yeah.
All right.
Okay then.
Not sure when or where that happened, but it's some kind of UFC/MMA fight, and it was. I mean, shock value alone is pretty great to me.
Twisting dicks. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not putting that shit on a shirt, but hey, to each their own.
And that was the first thing, right? Wasn't Moxley and Kingston the first?
Well, they came out and then they got jumped by 2.0, and
So in conjunction to where you were at, where did that go down?
I think they were on the other side, like the opposite side.
They were opposite, pretty much mirrored from where I was. I was close. Okay. I was hard cam, closer to like the right side of the AEW stage, and they were back left from where I was.
Yeah, because the way that they had it promoted is if they were going to open up the show with just like a fucking promo or whatever. And that's when they just had Mox, they hit his music and had him and Kingston come out. And I love how they set that up because one, they're continuing on a feud. Yes. And this is one of the main reasons why, why I myself am a 2.0 bro.
You know what? Besides being a 2.0 bro, depending on what might happen Friday, Danny Garcia is starting to kind of make a fan out of me too.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia rather.
Was it to give some slight spoilers for Elevation, since I apparently went into the future for an hour.
I think it came on tonight, so.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. They were promoting that a special episode of Elevation was tonight, so I think what you saw came on tonight.
Okay,
so I don't think it would be spoiling because I think it's already out. I want to verify to make sure.
Well, I'm sorry, people, but I'm going to do After Dark next week, and I'm not doing a dark this week because it's my birthday week and I can do what I fucking want. Anyway,
goddamn right.
Wait, did you get Santana and Ortiz and?
Yep.
Private Party, Nyla Rose.
Let's see here. Santana Ortiz, Nyla Rose,
Sheeta,
and Sheeta wasn't there, but Santana and Ortiz wrestled, and Sammy Guevara wrestled, and I think Nyla Rose wrestled before the show started, and then it went into Dynamite.
Okay.
But Daniel Garcia wrestled Matt Sydal, and great match. I honestly didn't know who was going to win out of it, but I mean, knowing that Daniel Garcia is getting his push that he is, like he ended up taking that W. But dang, for a second there, it looked like Matt Sydal might have come out. They whipped out that what is that move called when you when your knees are on their back and you grab the ankles and you grab their neck and you roll back and squeeze?
Oh, you're talking about it's not the surfboard, is it? No.
Yeah.
Is it surfboard?
No.
Huh.
I mean,
Damn
it is it's a surfboard, but you roll it back.
I
Like
forgot what they called it.
you're on your back, but you're like stretching them, and they're on your knees or shins, whatever you want to position it. But that was a move they both utilized, and I had not seen that in a while. So that was a nice little highlight of that.
Because I think if I'm
but the first match they got Proud and Powerful versus somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Proud and Powerful's going to win that one, but
Then they had Nyla Rose versus Stiff MK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it was Sammy Guevara. He either wrestled. No, he didn't wrestle, but he came out and did his proposal. Oh, spoiler alerts, people.
No, they showed it on TV.
That was
I mean, spoiler as in like the progression of tonight of AEW show. But yeah, they actually cut to that promotion. Yeah, proposal right before the show started.
And did they have Private Party versus Will all day and some other guy?
That was on the second half, or like right after the actual Dynamite.
And then they got Danny Garcia and Matt Sydal.
That was before.
It's a 30-minute dark that they posted today, and I'm assuming it must have been and it must have been those matches y'all saw last night. So
it felt like longer than that, but yeah. And then second half was Private Party doing their match. And then it was the Best Friends versus T.A.G and the Blade.
Oh, so they finally working they're finally doing tag matches then. So Jack Evans is good.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like he's been good for a while. It's just that he
doesn't have a match.
Yeah. And then
I guess
go ahead.
I guess since we were kind of talking about it, what were the receptions to some of those people? I'm pretty sure Santana and Ortiz got a huge pop, but what were the receptions for like Nyla Rose and Daniel Garcia and Sydal and all of
Nyla Rose got the typical heel boo. Sydal got like a little bit of a pop. Daniel Garcia got like a mixed reaction. I feel like there was a pop for Private Party, but they're heels, so they did get booed a bit. Definitely a pop for Best Friends.
Of course.
Slight pop mixed with boos for TH2.
Okay.
Huh. They must be wrapped in with Scoot and hating HFO.
Dang, right. HFO can FOH.
But
Houston gets it. They know.
And then there was the Lucha Bros versus why am I blanking on who they fought? But anyway, with Andrade at ringside, and they definitely got a big ass pop, but that was for the main event of Elevation.
Okay.
Good shit.
I had mixed feelings about Dasha being our ring announcer. Like, one where it was Justin Roberts, but two, Dasha though.
Yeah, Dasha though.
She was definitely getting some love from the people that were like on the rails or on the very front row.
And it's not surprising.
No, she interacted quite a bit. Like, that was cool to see.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure, of course, hearing it on TV, the crowd did not like 2.0 and Daniel Garcia beating up Moxley and Kingston.
No.
The crowd did not like that at all.
Hey, we didn't like it either. We were there. Anyway, but I guess Tony Khan's really got I guess he must be a 2.0 bro as well, if he's giving them a push like this to like jump Moxley and Kingston like that.
Well, the thing, and this is what I think it is, because I mean, a lot of people will look at this and think that NXT mishandled Everrise, and I don't think that was the case. I think they were doing a slow build up to that point, and
I mean,
Like
and don't forget too. I mean, they're developmental too. So I mean,
Get the fuck out of here.
you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't do much with developmental talent.
Oh no.
They're not supposed to have fans.
Spoken like a
and here's the
dirty
thing
Texan.
about that. The thing about that is the fact that I think that had it not been for that slow build that NXT was doing with Everrise, the stuff that 2.0 is doing right now would not have worked well. And they basically struck while the iron was hot immediately when they were supposed to by going to AEW and now doing this because it coincides with one another. It's almost like a continuation of what Everrise was doing in NXT and then just ramped up here. So it's basically getting like the good episodes of One Piece without having to deal with the fluff in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, for all my anime fans out there. But yeah, which is why
right?
which is why this shit works because of the fact that they're not doing a thing where it's like, oh, they're being introduced, by going and going up against tag teams. They're going after the main event guys, and now the pairing with Daniel Garcia makes more sense because of how he's feuding with Darby Allin. Of course, when we get into it later on, his now feud with Jon Moxley. So as Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston were coming out to Wild Thing, of course, and beefing up the crowd.
Did you sing along, Jaeger?
Oh, of course.
They got attacked, but not just by 2.0, but Daniel Garcia as well. And which amazing beatdown.
Not only the amazing beatdown, but then they went to the ring and was like, "Yo, bring our opponents out here, fam."
Which is why here, it's so fucking amazing.
Like, bring them out here.
An amazing start because I didn't expect that match to be first anyway.
Yeah.
So that was a good surprise, and for that to happen like that, and then of course for Sting and Darby to come out, which Sting looking fantastic for his age.
How do you no sell a table?
Look, I didn't expect it, but I loved it.
Oh man, we fucking popped when he just stood right back up.
At first, I did have issues with it, but then I took it as it was 2.0 that did it. Had it would have been like Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page had did it, Sting wouldn't have no-sold it. But since it was 2.0, it would have been like, fam. I don't
and their reaction to it was fantastic.
Oh my
too.
Yes.
God.
So, and it's funny because they have the persona of joke characters, but they're still gutsy enough to do the shit that somebody like Miro would do, regardless of getting their ass beat. Yeah. So this is why the build for them is fantastic to me, which is why as I watch this, even though they were getting their asses beat, I'm like, they could potentially pull out a victory for tag titles down the line. And it would all make complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now, of course, I'm not lobbying for them to win tag titles anytime soon. I give them maybe a year and a half before that shit happens. It could happen sooner than that, but I think they got a lot of people in the queue that need to have those tag titles for a little bit before that happens.
Yeah, you have to get up. Come
on. But yeah, this match was fantastic for Sting. I think that these were the perfect opponents for this Texas Tornado match for it to happen.
Yes.
And I think it just made all the sense in the world. Darby, again, he keeps taking these fucking spots, man.
Bam. Actually, even having to look up when he took that spot when 2.0 had threw him into the ceiling, it was like Darby just is down for the spot. Like he is just down for the cause.
Well, I was cool with that awning, cool. But when that skateboard was placed, I was like, wait, no, that's not gonna happen. And as soon as his body went up, I was like, oh no. And the way he just landed on it, it may have felt safe to him, but that shit looked like it hurt.
Did Darby get busted open when he hit the wall, or did something else happen?
I think he split his finger open. One of his fingers got a laceration on it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think what happened was he got a laceration on his finger, but I think he touched his face because after the match, his whole I think it was his pinky was like just completely just covered in blood.
That skateboard spot might go up there with moves I would not take. That shit.
No question. No question.
Once again, I'm down for spots if it makes sense. That was one of them spots where I'm like, you know what? I don't know.
Completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
I'm not sure how big that skateboard looked to y'all, but that was actually a pretty sizable skateboard that he pulled out.
It was big enough for Darby's whole body to fit in between them chucks. So
yeah. Not for me. Nope. Don't need it.
No.
But yeah, Sting pretty much takes the win by giving a double Scorpion Death Drop and then into a double Scorpion Deathlock, and making both members 2.0 tap out. Simple as that.
As I found out, commentary revealed that may have been the first time he's ever done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did say that. Which I'm trying to think. I thought he done it before, but maybe not. I don't know.
What's funny is because it's a WWE trope, because Natalya does that
That might have been who I'm thinking of too. That Natalya recently did do that,
and she does it a lot. As far as I remember, she does it quite a bit.
I think she did it at WrestleMania.
I believe in that tag gauntlet. I believe so. So, yeah, because I think she did it there, and I think she also did it at Royal Rumble.
That may be true too.
So, hey,
not sure how a submission move is effective in a Royal Rumble, but I digress.
Right? But we go from that match, which of course, by the way, more development for the whole Daniel Garcia thing. Daniel Garcia popped into the match again, and Eddie Kingston jumped him to get him out of the match. So that's how that progressed. And of course, we have progression from that point on later on. But after that, we get a video segment of Sammy Guevara having his major announcement, which was him proposing to his now fiance. Her name is escaping me. I apologize. Pam, and I could not catch the last name when he said it.
It's okay because
it's going to be Pam Guevara because she said yes.
That is true.
Man. It. So they only caught like a snippet of what this little speech he gave.
Okay.
He's like, you and I have been together. He said that in the snippet they got about how she'd been with him for 8 years. But he talked about how he's like, you've been with me since I was working at Taco Bell, to performing in front of 70 people, and you have been with me through my ups, my downs, my lows, my highs. And as he said in the snippet, I tried to, or he's like, he couldn't picture his life without her, and he doesn't want to. And then he popped that on the knee and popped the ring out, and it was pretty cute that she was like so awkward through it, because I'm just like, apparently he proposed to her before this, because there was a picture of him on his Instagram with her, and it looks like behind them they were still setting up like a lot of things.
Yeah,
but like maybe she was just awkward for it because like this had already happened and she'd already said yes prior. But
interesting.
Oh man, like as soon as she like hugged him and like they stood up and he's like putting the ring on her, like everybody's like chanting, "She said yes, she said yes." No, it was a very touching moment. My buddy who went with me, he was all like giddy for him and all that stuff. It was a heartwarming moment.
It was.
Hey man, you gotta love, man.
Oh yeah.
You gotta love love.
You gotta love.
Congratulations, Sammy and Pam.
Yes, congratulations.
To be
And
immediately and rudely interrupted.
Right?
I mean,
Right?
I can't be mad at it because
I mean, good heel work, but
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Yes.
great heel work. Great heel work.
but Sean Spears, I'm gonna fall for the heel work and get into the kayfabe here. How dare you say that Houston has some slim pickings?
hey, you know what? Here's how my brain worked with that.
Damn Canadian.
I heard him say it, and then I was about to get offended, but I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at the hill shit because you know what? Good line.
Yeah,
Good line.
I mean,
because he's bold enough to say it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also a Canadian that married an Australian, so
Yes.
must not be too much up there in Canada. I'm just
hold on. Cassie Lee though.
I mean, Cassie Lee though, but it still doesn't disprove Yeager's point that she's Australian. She's not Canadian.
Fair enough.
What did Moxley find the only good Canadian?
Ooh.
Well, Cardona too, because isn't Chelsea from Canada too? Canadian. I gotta start realizing when I'm around people, I gotta stop saying Canada.
You know what's funny is that I've heard that. I heard somebody else call it Canada as well.
I always keep joking when I say Canadian, and I gotta realize when I'm actually talking to people, do not say Canada.
I mean, sometimes it should be called Canada. Canadians, listen, don't crucify us on that.
I'm joking.
It's all jokes, but a funny one because you know.
Only because Spears took a shot at our city, we had to take shots back.
Oh
man,
yeah, that's right.
And then he took a damn shot at Pam herself.
Didn't he? I was like, oh, he's just going for it.
Right? Like,
well, because he said when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. And he said just for one night, they're allowing Pam to be an honorary member of the Pinnacle, so
she could be on top.
She can be on top.
Yeah.
It was like, okay.
It was like great heel work, but damn, dude, they just got engaged.
Look here. And with it, what name match next? Now that we discussing it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, there was a couple spots in this match I would probably take, and I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I'd take. I'm pretty sure I'd take the spots that were in this match.
Look, Sammy G with his fucking flips, man. Just the accuracy, because once.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's like once Spears had jumped him from behind during his entrance, and he fought him off the ramp onto ringside. The way he just jumped and just like landed picture perfectly on him, and it's like he just does not hurt himself at all.
Yo, hey, I really want to give Sammy credit because I don't know if you saw it, Yeager, but we could clearly see it on TV. The way Guevara changed his trajectory of the 630.
Oh,
because because he was flush on the ropes, but he saw the way Spears was landing, and he slightly turned his body, and that's how he was able to land on Spears the way he landed on him. Because otherwise, if he would have did it the way, he probably would have landed on Spears' face.
Yeah.
I want to say I noticed that, but no, I really didn't.
Yeah, he slightly, like right when he was about to jump, he slightly turned his body and did the 630. And it was like, okay, Sammy
G is gonna be a damn champ one day.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna do something.
I think you could add the guardrail spot to the list of spots I'll take.
Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about specifically.
I think I'll take a guardrail spot like that.
Yeah.
I'd have to land perfectly because I would be worried about my neck hitting like the edge of it. But other than that,
I mean, when we talk about another show, somebody did land pretty awkwardly on the ramp. I mean, not on the ramp, on the ring. So hopefully Mr. Hudson is all right. But yeah, I agree with you. You do want to, because the thing is, that's not a spot you're going to practice.
No,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, you know what, we're gonna do this spot. That's it. But
So you're not going to practice a guardrail spot.
Oh, as the match ended, you see the referee, you see the stage crew taking the guardrail out, and damn thing was cracked at the tops or the top and bottom of it.
so it was gimmicked, or they
I'm not
cracked
sure.
it.
No, I'm pretty sure they cracked it from the impact. Like when at the point of the bend, like I was just like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, that did look really stiff.
Yeah. Yeah. This match was nice for what it was. It was, again, continuous, fantastic heel work from Spears. You know, still placating everything with him and Tully before the bell even rang, and then great heel work from Tully, and then continuous heel work with Spears on Pam, because after he gave Guevara the knees without the pad,
Yeah,
he went to ringside, got on the apron, and then blew kisses to Pam. So yeah, just
I thought you were talking about the chair spot that he was gonna do.
Also, too, this will remind me, when did Spears get busted open?
That was towards the end. I'm not sure.
I think that was right after the GTH.
Okay, I thought that might have been to go to hell that might have did it.
No, that was before that, because
because
he was bleeding before he got him up for the GTH.
Okay,
I'm just not sure.
When did he get busted open?
Yeah, I was confused, because thing is, because it was once Sammy was getting him up, I noticed the blood was dripping down. And then once he hit him with the GTH, he got blood on his thigh. So, and the commentary was making it seem as though Sammy was the one that got busted open.
No, I knew it was. I knew it came from Spears.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know.
But to throw it back to the Pam attention, did y'all not catch Spears with the chair, wondering what he was gonna do with it before he looked ever so just antagonistically at Pam?
See, I'm gonna say this. This is why I can appreciate heels that'll take it this way, that'll take it far. Like I can appreciate, to talk about NXT when Sasha Banks and Bayley had their Iron Woman match, and Sasha took the little things from Izzy in the crowd, and she was all intact. I can appreciate when a heel, especially if it's a family that has nothing to do with the wrestling business. I love it. I can appreciate if they do it correctly, and if they do it right, I love it.
What was her name? Was it Izzy?
Izzy, yeah.
Okay.
I love it when heels can be antagonistic in situations like that.
Absolutely. Nah, I mean, I didn't notice the chair spot. I'm assuming it happened.
That might happen during commercial break.
Okay, so
picture, but picture in picture, I kind of tuned out a little bit.
Well, see, the thing with me is that I was hyper focused after like the knees, because it was at the 21 minute and then 25 second mark, and then I realized that the very visible picture here of this guy.
Hey, who's that guy?
Look at that handsome devil there.
Oh man.
Yeah. So when that happened, I was like, oh shit, there's Jaeger. Like, well, I mean, I've seen him before, but it was like, oh no, there's a perfect image. So yeah, that's what took my focus for the moment. So maybe during that picture in picture, I was so focused on trying to get this damn screenshot that I completely missed the whole thing. But but if that's the case, fantastic heel work again, Spears. But what I'm starting to think now is that after all this is said and done, I believe that the Pinnacle are going to go on a hunt for gold.
So I will say this. It seems like I might have been wrong about the Pinnacle when I said that Pinnacle might not be a stable by the end of the year.
Might be lingering around.
Look like I'm, because they're kind of doing the Pinnacle the same way they're doing Inner Circle, where they're off doing their own things, but these guys belong to the Inner Circle, these guys belong to the Pinnacle. So maybe the Pinnacle might be a thing for a little bit longer.
And we'll definitely get more into that when we talk about the shocking conclusion to the main event. But yeah, Sammy Guevara takes the win, and he sends the good old bloodied and battered Shawn Spears off to the back, and then he goes and he gives his nice newly crowned fiance nice beautiful kiss. She tells him that she loves him, and then he placates to the crowd, and everybody gives him cheers and showers him with just gracious attention that only Houston can do for Sammy G. But we go from that. And I don't necessarily know if like we even needed this whole situation.
Wait, are you talking about what I think you about to talk about?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if what you're thinking I'm going to talk about is the Dan Lambert thing, then absolutely.
Okay. To our correspondent here.
Yeah.
How did this segment fare out to the people there?
Oh, we booed the shit out of Dan Lambert.
Like, I don't understand what is this happening. Like, why is this even a thing?
I guess it's a continuation from what?
I know. I'm just saying, even a Road Rager, why was that even a thing? Like,
I can only assume that AEW's maybe mixing some business in with UFC, and I don't know how or why that's happening.
I mean, personally, I would have been like, "Oh shit, is that JDS and Pitbull?" Like, I would have been kind of like, "Oh shit," but other than that, I wouldn't have cared.
Like,
yeah,
no, I mean, to feature the champions, like, previous champions, and great talents that they are, great fighters that they are. That was cool to see them in the ring.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would. We gave him the proper booing that he deserved for the little shits and pokes that he was taking at Houston or Texas in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just as confused as where AEW is going with this as y'all are.
Because if this is all a setup, truly, just for the men of the year that had jumped Archer, then it's like
could have done without the Dan Lambert stuff.
I mean, exactly. You could have done it without Lambert stuff. If anything, this was playing more into his little narrative about how AEW's got people just like in a free for all, or just trying to go at or watch after their own ass, or then that's exactly what happened. With the men of the year.
There was a good portion of what Dan Lambert said that I don't disagree with about the whole sensitive shit, and then I was all about it. So I was like, yep, I don't like what the fuck is going on, but I agree with the good amount of what you're saying. Fine, let somebody else say it so I don't have to. Cool, but yeah, this to me it just like a whole nother like AEW's Pete Rose stuff. That's how I look at it, and Lance Archer is the Kane in this situation.
That's actually what it's starting to feel like.
So yeah, I mean, it would have been cooler if Archer fought. Why are the names escaping me right now? If he fought
Andre and Junior.
Andre Arlovsky and Junior DeSantos.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he ended up getting into a bit of a brawl with them.
Yeah, because what's the point of them being there if that's the case?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But all they ended up doing was laughing at the fact that Archer got jumped.
Yeah. So,
Jaeger, you didn't get a chance to speak on it last week. How do you feel that Tanahashi beat Archer for the United States title?
It would have been cooler if it was here in the States, maybe on the AEW. You know, keep that forbidden door just kicked the fuck open.
Yeah.
But it seems like they just want to bring the title back to Japan, keep it more active, I guess. I can't really. I got to be honest. I haven't really been following New Japan as much recently, but I don't know if Tanahashi will keep that long.
Okay.
well, that would make him what, the first Japanese United States champion?
Yeah, either that or this is his first time winning that championship. He's like won every other championship.
No, I think he is the first Japanese person because I think only Moxley, Archer,
Juice,
and
Cody, and Kenny.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, there you go. He is the first Japanese wrestler, and it's his first time holding the belt.
Making history.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats on that end, but I look forward to him and Mox fighting for that title. So,
oh, man, he cut one hell of a promo during Elevation about that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. How he's looking to fight Tanahashi. He's looking to fight anybody else in Japan. He wants them, like, so I can imagine he's going to be making a little Japan circuit, or maybe we're going to get some Japanese or New Japan talent here.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like Mox is ready to fight any and everybody, especially with the promo that he cut last night on Dynamite.
I didn't get a chance to really hear what he was saying, unfortunately.
Oh, we might be talking about the same one then. My time.
Well, no, in that promo, what he talked, because I mean, well, fuck it, we'll talk about it now because the Dan Lambert shit, whatever. Men of the Year jumped on Lance Archer, everybody laughed, shit was over with, donezo. So, Mox cut a promo backstage as primarily on Daniel Garcia, and then of course he had talked about how he was basically carrying AEW on his back when he was AEW champion during the time of COVID. And
yeah, this is the promo.
Oh, it's the same one? Yeah, I don't even remember him talking about anybody from New Japan. I must have missed that, or he must have cut extra shit. But then he talked about Kenny and the Elite basically making it easy for people to come in because of how they're making things look with them acting like high schoolers. Then he talked about how he could drink Hangman under the table and still kick his ass.
Oh yeah, that's all it is.
And then maybe that'll help it because he couldn't get the job done with Kenny. So maybe if he whooped his ass, it'll probably help him come back and then get the job done so he can finally become a champion. He talked about Christian. He said coming out of retirement where he probably should have stayed, but he came here and won the title. So that's a thing.
Speaking of Christian, apparently tonight on Impact, he retired the TNA Heavyweight Championship.
So finally it's just one fucking title.
Yes.
Okay. That's how it should have been.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny should have just unified the belts, but belt collector.
Yeah, but for the aesthetics.
For the aesthetics, you rather come out with 4 belts than 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I am cool with that. But did they introduce a new title design, or is this they're just holding the Impact?
Let me see. Let me look it up as we keep talking about it.
Okay,
and so then that title that Christian just has.
He talked about Daniel Garcia, like if he really, really wanted this match because they want to play in the big leagues. He said, "Fine, you want to be in the main event? Cool, you're gonna get a taste of that." He's like, basically, the referees there, the ringside doctors are there for your protection. He's like, but you need to really ask yourself if this is something that you really want, and if that's the case, then fine. So Mox is gonna introduce Daniel Garcia to the main event in AEW.
Hell, I thought he was gonna challenge Daniel to like a street fight or something. The way he was talking.
He did have that vibe.
I mean, They at the end of the day, that's still Mox, man. Mox will make anything just sound vicious in the best way possible.
No, he just retired the title. He just gave it to one of the officials. So the Impact title is the official title.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. From there, we actually got the AEW Tag Team title match. Young Bucks defending the titles against Jurassic Express.
Once again, Jaeger, how were the reactions to both teams?
Well, fans definitely, or the TV show definitely captured Jurassic Express's entrance.
I bet they did.
Yeah, no, we were all singing along with that song. Yeah, I can't really do it because my voice is still a little out.
Makes sense.
But no,
you know what I'm saying? I guess Jaeger got the pipes ready for the main event. You know what I'm saying?
He was
for the main
savoring
event.
that moment.
Oh yeah, I recorded us, or I say us, but like the collective of the fans singing for Judas. But yeah, my own voice that could probably crack a window that's trying to sing along mainly took that over. But it was still good. Like my buddy and I had actually pulled up the lyrics to the song so we could.
Do it. So this is the thing. I know we're talking about it now, but you could clearly see when the camera was panning, people was reading the lyrics off their phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah.
So Young Bucks, how was the reaction to the Bucks?
I'd say mixed. Like definitely heard some cheers for the Bucks and the rest of the Elite. I wanted to get a Brandon Cutler cheer started at some point, but we just to it. Man, he's just so good right now, like just doing his little antics. But no, definitely like a mixed of. I heard boos around me, I heard cheers around me, and I'll be honest, I was out there cheering for the Bucks the whole time.
There was a couple of times during this match I thought maybe Jurassic Express could take it. But of course, okay, with that being said, how upset would you have been if you wouldn't have got a Kenny Omega sighting?
I would have been a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I actually came into that because I looked at the match card. And there was like no mention of Kenny Omega. And I was like, shit, we're not gonna see Kenny. Slightly disappointed, but hey, spoiler alert for the match, but Kenny did show up and you definitely heard like a little pop, but also some boos because he came out there with a chair looking to start some trouble. However, I found it to be a funny little echo of the previous week where the Bucks did the same. And it ended up actually being a same kind of outcome. The chair comes out and then and then they still get wrecked by it.
Look, and speaking of Kenny, because they are really doing this whole Easter egg shit.
They are. His t-shirt.
T-shirt, having a chick magnet t-shirt. For those of you who don't know, the CM in CM Punk stands for chick magnet. So yeah, with all these little Easter eggs and teasers, it's and since we're on it right now, we might as well go ahead and just talk about it because in about 24 hours, we will be on the cusp of figuring out if this is going to be a real thing or if this is something that's going to have to wait till All Out. Do you guys think that we get CM Punk on Rampage tomorrow?
I told y'all who I think in the end we might get last week. I think we might get Danielson instead of Punk.
I'm still sold that Danielson's going to be the New York show.
Okay.
I'm more now on the 50-50 train. because I was more so on the whole swerve thing with Danielson being there, but with all these little teases that's going on lately, and the more that the talks are going on, I'm starting to lean more towards the fact that the realization of Punk actually coming out of retirement and being with AEW and actually showing up tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
is a greater possibility now. So,
Me
but it's
too.
still 50-50 on my end. So yeah,
And plus, I mean, Stephen Amell didn't help it either with CM Punk being on that Heels TV show.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So we know CM Punk has actively been kind of doing something wrestling related. So
yeah,
I mean, at this point, it has to be something special. Which you just said that I do have a quote from Tony Khan.
okay.
And he said, I'm betting that excitement from the most anticipated announcement in AEW history at AEW Rampage, the first dance, will build up through All Out on pay-per-view. We'll make new fans and will welcome dormant wrestling households worldwide back into the fold. A new era in AEW begins tomorrow. So, with
That's
that
gotta
being
be.
said from Tony Khan, if it ain't CM Punk, then God damn it, who is it?
Yeah,
To
because
make
he's
a
Yeah.
statement that big, who is it?
And Brian Danielson has not been out of action long enough to be attention or
Missed like that.
garnering the attention of dormant wrestling fans.
Yeah.
well, here's also the thing with there. I mean, because AEW has already had the situation kind of happen to them with the whole Christian thing. It's like you can't sit there and be like, hey, huge signing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you get and nothing against Christian, of course, but with all this CM Punk news, you're going to have to, if it's not CM Punk, you're going to have to do something honestly along the lines of getting an AJ Lee
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to just pop up somewhere. Because matter of fact, that's the only thing that I'll probably accept if it's not Bryan Danielson or CM Punk. It needs to be AJ Lee coming in to take on some woman at some point to just
That
jump in.
would be one hell of a swerve to tease CM Punk this whole time and have it be AJ Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
So
there was a statement made. CM Punk was not as good or as over as John Cena or moved the needle like The Rock.
well, that's not any fault of his because CM Punk had a following just like Daniel Bryan did that could have pushed him that way. The problem is that you had the machine behind Cena and you had the fans behind The Rock. The fans were behind Cena in the very beginning, but once that shit caught fire, then the machine took over and then pushed behind Cena.
That's
Because
true.
when Cena was doing the whole Dr. Thugonomic stuff, he got himself over. And then that
Yeah.
pushed him into being a face. And then once he got drafted to Raw from SmackDown, that's when the machine got behind him and then they pushed him. The Rock was pretty much booed out the building, but then got himself over as a heel. And then he gained traction. And he didn't really have the machine behind him like that because during that time, the fans pretty much controlled what the fuck was going on because,
Mm-hmm.
the WWF at the time wasn't like that conglomerate that had a whole bunch of like shareholders like in the bag trying to control everything. So it wasn't like that type of business.
Well, now the other interesting part, I never told y'all who made the statement either.
Interesting. Okay.
It was one Roman Reigns.
Oh.
Huh.
That sounds like bitterness then.
Now, I don't know where he said this at or what he said it on, but apparently that's been the statement that's been floating around for the better part of today. So, yeah.
Okay. I am going to throw a little bit of bias behind that statement on his end because I'm pretty sure if this is the case, he may still be somewhat salty about Punk saying that Punk was the mastermind behind the Shield.
Shield, okay.
So that could be the case too. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't agree with Roman on that because of everything that has happened. Because if you think about, let's just say, in-ring ability, Punk is better than both.
Mm-hmm.
Star power, that's more so that more so goes to The Rock because of his charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Cena, would Cena be as big if he didn't have the machine behind him? I don't know.
We don't
so
know.
that's
Exactly.
still up in the air. Punk is good in the ring. On top of that, he's fantastic on the mic. He's a good character. He knows how to get himself over.
But then at the same time, too, in Roman's case, don't act like Punk didn't have fans either.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, don't just make it seem like that CM Punk was just some dude that was there.
Yeah, and to have for like the better part of the past decade, or less of fans chanting for CM Punk without him even being there.
Without him being there.
Yeah, so you can't ignore that, especially when and it's funny because they'll chant CM Punk when something is trash or undesirable within the ring. So if that's to be the opposite or the opposition to something that nobody cares for, clearly them chanting CM Punk shows that that's something that they actually care for. So yeah. But yeah, I definitely disagree with that statement as a whole, regardless of who said it. So yeah,
Roman.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jaeger.
No, I was just gonna be like, Roman. But no, man, it seems like it's coming from a place of like either jealousy or just I don't know.
Or it could be he could be doing his just heel shit, just like he did with talking about Bailey. So
yeah, I'm gonna say this too. This is just wild theory, fan me. So please take this with a grain of salt. There's probably a 0.001% chance. What if it's a WWE wrestler active?
Okay, wait. Who is it? Say it again.
What if it's an active WWE wrestler?
You mean the
and maybe AEW and WWE have brokered some type of secret partnership, and when Darby calls out the best in the world, fucking Seth Rollins are.
I thought you were about to say Shane McMahon.
No, ew. Now the only reason why it won't happen is because, of course, it comes on right after SmackDown. So of course, no SmackDown talent because this is the go home show of SmackDown.
Yeah,
but like that would be wild too. That fucking I guess who's on Raw that could be considered best in the world. Okay, but yeah. So what?
I mean,
I know it's a 0.1% chance of it happening, but that would be an interesting, what?
Yeah. I mean, the only person that I can see, if we are doing this whole hypothetical thing, the one person that it could be where it would make sense because he technically could do it, but he would probably end up getting some type of repercussions from it, is Adam Cole. Because he just extended his contract. That doesn't mean he can't really do much.
Did he actually extend his contract?
No. I mean like he did an extension for SummerSlam. So, if there's nothing that's really tying him to WWE like that, then I mean he could potentially show up and just deal with like the consequences of him having to go do takeover. But I mean at that point, but
why would you care?
Like what are you gonna do? You're gonna fire me after Sunday night? Okay.
I mean, like what's the worst that can happen? I lose to Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the most part, officially, we all thinking it's CM Punk.
Yeah.
I'm still on Danielson, but mainly the consensus is CM Punk.
The way I want to, like, my fan booking in my head is, if we're gonna get all three of them, it's gonna be CM Punk on Rampage, or ideally on Rampage. Then if we're gonna get Cole, I'd say Cole at All Out, and then Danielson at the New York show.
Okay.
But that's just me fan booking it.
Makes sense. I'm still lobbying for AJ Lee to come out of retirement. So you know, hey,
like I said, my dark horse.
Hey, there's always room for a 2-for-1.
That's true. That's true.
Hell, we say that shit. It could be fucking Okada or some shit for all we know. Like we did say best in the world. I mean, for all we know.
I mean, at the same time, you know, there's a lot of focus on this whole the first dance thing.
True.
So,
also, Okada's going to probably stay in Japan right now because the G1 is coming up.
Okay.
Fair enough. But to get back on track, to not take away from
Young
the
Bucks
match.
Hit, Young Bucks hit the BTE trigger on
which was a nice transition too.
Yes.
The second half of this match was awesome. But
with the jumping of Lucha Express and then Christian Cage coming out.
And well, just as far as like the intrigue between the Bucks and Jurassic Express. I mean the extra shenanigans, I mean that's obvious. There was that call back to last week where Kenny came out to throw the chair to the Bucks to have them use it on Jungle Boy, and then Christian came out to stop that. So, but at the end of the day, Young Bucks take it with the BTE trigger, and they retain. And then Don Callis comes out in his powder blue suit, and
not gonna lie, that suit's looking pretty fresh.
I mean, it is fresh. That is the powder. Am I looking at the powder blue suit in the background?
Fuck Don Callis.
I mean, but
that powder blue suit though.
Yeah.
Fuck that suit too.
Whoa! Damn. That's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But anyway, Bucks retain, and then we get an announcement for a tag team eliminator tournament.
Yep.
Which this is one of the things that kind of throw me off a little bit, just slightly, because if I'm correct. Okay, no, never mind. It actually does make sense because the 4 teams that in it are the 4 top ranked teams.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Jurassic Express, Varsity Blondes, Private Party, and Lucha, which I'm still this month. Private Party must be ranking up wins on Dark Elevation.
Oh, that's who Private Party fought during Elevation. Was the Varsity Blondes?
Yeah, but though, huh?
Who's 5th?
FTR. It was.
Who was it?
Man, I was under the impression.
Okay.
Was I not under the impression that the Acclaimed were up there in the top 5?
They were.
Until Max Caster got suspended.
I mean, but
let me double check because I can see from the past weeks, where they were. Okay, so let's see.
God damn it.
Let me check because this week it's showing that. So the last week they weren't there, but the week before that, the Acclaimed were number 2.
Oh shit! They went from that sucks.
How long is Max Caster suspended for?
Nothing ever came out. They just said he was just put on ice.
His appearances is going to be put on ice.
So they never said for how long. I guess they're assuming to people forget or whatever. But yeah.
And as of right
Um,
now, he's still on the roster and it does show Max Caster of the Acclaim. So they still have Acclaimed as a thing. But my thing is, why are they taken off of the rankings though? That makes no sense.
I guess for the storyline purposes of this tournament.
Look, I'm not going to harp back on this because I said what I had to say last week, but this is the reason why people need to stop being so fucking sensitive, because you cause people jobs and opportunities when shit is not really that fucking bad. But I digress. Yeah, it just wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But yeah. What was after this? Oh, matter of fact, after they announced the tag team title eliminator tournament, they had the backstage segment with
Oh,
Death
wait.
Triangle.
Wait. Since this is going to be as good a time as any. So I
Okay.
found out some news
Oh, yeah,
about Hangman and
Oh,
as to why he probably and him and Dark Order did not win that match at least in my head they were supposed to win.
mhm.
Hangman will be expecting a baby right around All Out.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like the what's the word here? Supposition, if I can make up a word for it a second, is that he's taking his paternity leave now for the delivery of said baby.
Okay.
And if anything, we're probably going to get Hangman versus Omega at Full Gear.
Full Gear. Okay.
Look,
Which
I believe that, of course, he's going to have his baby and everything like that. Or rather, his wife is going to have their baby. But honestly, and I'm still under the belief that Hangman and Omega is still happening at All Out.
Really?
Look. I mean, look at it from this perspective, because again, yes, Hangman loves his wife. Hangman loves the fact that he's going to be a father. But everything that this man has worked for, on top of that, this match in itself is a long time coming, and this is the perfect time to pull the trigger on this win for Hangman, because he is red hot. Everybody's behind him. It makes the most sense for them not to drag this out all the way to Full Gear. Now, could this whole thing be true and he could just be completely taken out and wait till Full Gear? Absolutely.
Now, we only got 5 AEW shows, including tomorrow. We only got 5 shows between now and All Out. So
All Out, yeah.
So you think within either Rampage or Dynamite, something's gonna happen to where it's gonna be boom. Instead of Christian, it's gonna be Hangman?
Yes. Because if you think about what happened during the tag match after that, they laid Christian out. Now, of course, with the same thing that you I forgot who you said it, Scoot. I don't know if you said Authors Wrestling said it. Said that it was going to be the
winner takes all that he thinks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jaeger, I don't know if you heard me, but Authors of Wrestling, he said that to him, this feels like it might be a winner take all match between Kenny and Christian.
Well, Kenny did just defend the AAA title against Andrade.
And apparently AEW asked AAA for Kenny to keep the belt a little bit longer.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that Andrade was supposed to win it at AAA.
He was originally supposed to win. It's like we talked about before, and it made the most sense. But this goes more to my point, because of how things in the wrestling world change on the drop of a dime. And with this being the case, let's say Hangman does take off and they have their child and, so on and so forth. With potentially CM Punk coming in, with potentially Brian Danielson coming in, that could easily change the trajectory of AEW's booking moving forward. Absolutely. So my thing is, if Hangman would be taking a tremendous risk by waiting up until Full Gear for them to actually pull the trigger on his win, and for the whole storyline deal to kick out of the One Wing Angel to beat Kenny, and then of course the potential of even having Adam Cole come in, like that's there. Yeah,
somebody will get overshadowed in this, and you don't. Unfortunately, I hate saying this. You really don't want a Raquel Gonzalez type situation. You don't want your champion kind of overshadowed. You want your champion. Yeah. You want CM Punk to step to Hangman, or you want Danielson to step to Hangman, or potentially Cole to step to Hangman. You don't want them to step to Kenny, and then Kenny loses the belt to somebody else. Then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to fight Kenny no more since he's not the champ. I want to fight.
I am really wanting Danielson to go against Miro.
Ooh, interesting.
All of it. All of it is just so good. All the potential is so good. But at the same time, it's just like I said before, I still believe that once Kenny loses, these super long title reigns are going to be put on pause for a while.
At least with the World Heavyweight title, I can see that.
Yes. Because there's too many people, again, like I said, that's in the queue that deserve to have his title. You got MJF, you have Hangman, you have, Mox could potentially get another run with the title. Yeah. And I'm not even including Darby, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, Ricky Starks. I'm not including these guys right now. Only reason that I included who else did I say? Who else is part of that upper? Oh, MJF. MJF is the only one that makes the most sense for the future to get that because of the position that he's in right now. But everybody else is going to win that shit later on, as far as Jungle Boy, Darby, Sammy Guevara, and Ricky Starks. But I still believe Hangman is still going to go to All Out.
Okay.
So
I'd want to see it, but this is where the BTE comes in. He gave a very touching little video to Dark Order. He's like, "Hey guys, like I'm taking a break from. I don't even know if he meant from wrestling, but he's taking a break from Dark Order, or he's told him that he believes that we're going to go our separate ways, and he's just left them a recruitment video, like all based like on how his experience with Dark Order has been. Like
it's very interesting.
Yeah, like it was like the whole, like during his bad times with like, are you feeling neglected, left out, or made fun of? And it goes to like the BT segment where Dark Order was at first like, fuck Hangman. and then he's like, are you looking for friends and stuff, like people that'll like come to, like people that will help you, people will do that. And it's like all the time with the Dark Order, like helping him out, like rushing to his side, all that.
Yeah.
It makes me believe that we're going to get it at Full Gear rather than All Out. But I would love to see it happen at All Out.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it with these next 5 shows, as Scoot just pointed out. But if they
unless they pull some John Cena, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor shit. I don't know if y'all saw that segment of how John Cena got the match with Roman Reigns.
I saw that, which is complete Bullshit.
what happened was, Roman accepted the challenge of Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So right when Finn was going to sign the contract, Corbin came out there and jumped Finn. Corbin was going to sign the contract, but Cena came out there, beat up Corbin, and Cena with a big blue Sharpie wrote his name on the contract. And then Roman was just sitting over there just like, so, and that's how it ended up being Roman and Cena at SummerSlam.
Which that's still just so fucking cheesy to me.
That is so. You know what? It's worse though because Cena was the one that initially buried Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Corbin brought it up. Corbin brought it up like this is the second time this man has took a world title match from me.
That is shitty that WWE Creative would bring that injury back.
Well, Corbin is now on this downward spiral. He's going through, ever since he lost the crown, he's been on this downward spiral. Just recently on SmackDown, he stole Big E's Money in the Bank briefcase. So now we got to see what's going to come of that.
Wait, he took the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Big E was back there talking to one of the designers back there, and Corbin just ran through and just snatched the briefcase and took off.
Oh, okay. I thought
which is another weird thing. It's them rehashing a segment that they did last year with The Miz and Otis. So I'm just like, all right, wait, or was it this year?
Well, hopefully it's not legitimized.
Considering he stole the briefcase, he's technically not Mr. Money in the Bank. It still technically belongs to E.
Yeah.
He just stole it.
Yeah.
But that's where they're going now. So I guess we got to see how that plays out with that storyline. But unless they pull something like that with Hangman, I don't know. 5 shows, that's pretty quick. But hey, it'll be interesting to see it would be a pretty cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what they really should do if they really want to do it? And this is me fantasy booking it. Christian and Kenny should have a contract signing. And Christian should be like, I didn't sign my name.
Huh.
Ooh.
And what's funny is that I thought that's kind of what the way they were going to go when Christian had basically came out and ran on the parade and said he was going to challenge for the Impact title.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that he was going to be like, well, your opponent for All Out is going to be Hangman because that's a deal that we made with Tony Khan is that I would get this title and then Hangman will get a match for the AEW championship.
That's the other side of the fantasy booking. But yeah, that would be something that Christian already comes out with the contract already signed. And he going to be like, hey, Kenny, you're not paying attention. That's not my signature. That's on that contract. I hate to tell you, but I got the belt. I want it from you. This man. And then, that would be a cool little swerve they pull. But you are technically the crown. You technically have all the foresight and the clairvoyance. So that would be an interesting swerve that in 5 shows, they'd be like, nah, we going to change it. It's going to be Hangman and Kenny.
That would be
look.
One hell of a way to do it.
Make it happen. Make it happen, AEW. But
man, if I hear anything close to, there's a contract signing for Kenny and Christian.
Then yes, then I know.
Then that could be the case. Yeah. Something that I again don't give a shit about. Don't know why it's happening. What was the reaction
to this segment, Jaeger?
Oh, so you already know. Bam.
The Paul White and QT segment. What was the reaction to this?
I mean, fans were somewhere in between like non-reactive and cheering, like or popping for it. It was mainly like us saying like fuck QT.
Yeah.
QT sucks. But
Ashley was like, QT love his bowling shirts.
So there was I tried to start a chant for bowling shirt, like bowling shirt, but I got cut. I shouldn't say I got cut off, but there was a fan in front of me, older guy, and he looks back at me and goes, "I have that shirt," and I like just and I just started laughing too hard to even continue the chant. Like
He's like, "Oh shit, you should chant too then." It's like,
yeah, right. I was like, he just made me pop too much, and I was just I just couldn't keep it going. But man, like he really does love those bowling shirts. But once he announced that the match was happening, it did get a pop, as I'm sure y'all heard.
You
but
know, I didn't care personally that it was this match is happening. Why
Exactly.
does it got to be it all out?
exactly, this could have been
Because-
next week on Dynamite.
Paul White's return to the ring for that brief moment. That's why they're making it a big thing. But I'm like,
I mean, Sting returned to the ring on TNT. Never mind, he already had his pay-per-view.
But
Yeah.
it's Sting though.
Yeah, it's fair.
also true. I don't care. Where the fuck is Anthony Ogogo?
I don't know.
I can only assume he's back in the UK at this point.
Because I'm like, if this is the person that you guys are pushing, why? Like, what's the point of the factory being a thing? Like, look again, QT Marshall is not somebody I deem as main event. Well, I mean, look, Anthony Ogogo may be training. He may be training to be better in the ring. I don't know, but if this was the main guy you're supposed to be pushing to go against Cody, all this and that, he should be more of a focus rather than QT Marshall being a focus.
Funny thing is that he is a trainer. He has a school.
I don't care about the factory.
I don't either. I'm just gonna be that blunt with it.
Speaking of QT Marshall, I guess his interview came out. No, I think it was Shaq's interview came out, and they talked to Shaq about him taking that table bump.
Oh, how he lied to him?
Yeah, he was talking about how QT lied to him because QT told him that they'll be padding under the table, and of course they took the bump, and then they was in the back, and he was like, "What happened to the padding? Welcome to the wrestling business, Shaq."
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know what? I meant to ask y'all last week, only because we're kind of here. How do we feel about 4 people being on commentary on Rampage?
Oh, and that matter of fact, I'm glad you said that because that was one of the things that I said I had a problem with, but I never even brought it up because I completely forgot.
Me too.
But yeah, I'm not feeling Mark Henry on commentary.
Okay.
At all. Especially when he's next to Jericho and all the energy that Jericho puts into commentary.
Yes.
And to hear because I think this may be Mark Henry's first commentary job. And
Mark Henry?
Yeah,
other than the podcast he does, this is his first commentary.
That's why I'm giving him some time.
Yeah, and that's how I felt too. I was like maybe he'll come into his own down because it's the first gig. But yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. I mean, luckily all the matches were good on the first Rampage, but down the line, I don't think Jericho's going to be on every fucking Rampage for commentary. So everybody can't lean on Jericho for that. So yeah, but the whole 4-man thing, it's not necessary. 3 men at max, 2 is the optimal, but no. Not everybody can be NXT's commentary booth.
No,
with their 3 men because their 3 men works.
Yeah,
well, 2 man and woman.
Yeah, well, they get it.
Yeah, but
there was a segment which we, I guess, either reordered or kind of skipped over. Was the doctor herself?
The good doctor.
Yeah, well, this whole matter of fact, we're going to cover all these because these kind of happen in an interesting order. So we had Miro's segment, and which Miro again, fan fucking tastic. one thing I like about Miro is the way that he sets up his matches. It's not like he's going through the it's a nice way to bypass the rankings, because with his character and him also doing like this whole redeemer thing with these offerings, he's basically just calling up people to the fucking podium being like, hey, you're next. You're next to get this. You're next to get this. And he basically called out Fuego del Sol, as far as his loss, by stating that, he stepped up to something that he did not deserve.
Yeah.
So he accepted a match he didn't deserve. So he didn't deserve it. So he basically paid for it, and he was offered up. And he says with that, the only two things I serve is the God and my wife, and my hot wife, which these whole CJ Perry references are fan-fucking-tastic.
She's got to show up by what is it? She had 90 days, so September she has to be showing up.
At some point, even if it's just for like a split second, I'm cool with that. She don't have to be.
I think Ashley told me something that I think she saw something. Oh, I think she's on Cameo now. So I think when she said that, I said, "Oh, her complete calls must be up then."
Huh.
Interesting. Well, yeah, but yeah. So he ended up calling out Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is next up to basically get this Redeemer ass whooping.
Okay, so he did call out Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it was a good way to bypass the rankings, because it's like, regardless of who deserves a shot, it's like, okay, it's the champ's call. Yeah. So it's not somebody coming out and being like, yo, I want to challenge. It's like, yo, no, I'm giving you opportunity. And so you deserve to be served up. So everything about his character, fan-fucking-tastic. Now, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Before we get into her promo,
go ahead.
Slightly disappointed that it was just a promo, because Match Card said she would be in action.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's no bueno.
Yeah. That was like my only gripe about the whole Match Card, is that when I looked at it before the show, they said Dr. Britt Baker will be in action, and then we got a promo instead.
Yeah, that would be a little like, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'd feel too.
But aside from that, please continue on.
Well, I mean, first off, always good to see Britt Baker on TV. Period. Yes. But we finally pretty much got an answer to it. Well, I don't want to say answer, because I mean she answered everything as it is already, but she now has her insurance policy, as you will, helping move the needle for her along.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy about this.
Okay.
I'm happy about this because it's not somebody that's going to overshadow Britt Baker. At the same time, it's not somebody who doesn't make sense with being with Britt Baker. Because it's somebody that can get the rub from her at the same time, but also be an opposing force to anybody that opposes her. Mm-hmm. Because at this point we all know that Reba isn't going to be the one thing that helps push Britt Baker along, outside of being like, I hate saying I hate saying a comedic act, but that's kind of what it is. So I don't. How do y'all feel about Britt Baker's potential stable?
It makes sense to have a bigger person, in a sense, to be there, especially since Statlander is a bigger opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill at some point is a bigger opponent. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Who we'll get in her segment too, because now she's actually gonna be going in with the with the debuting Kira Hogan. We're going up
Yeah,
against.
she was on Elevation.
And then what? And then didn't Jamie Hayter call out Red Velvet for next week?
Yes.
I believe so.
She got on the mic with Tony Schiavone, and her accent just as imposing and intimidating as it is for those women, it is caramel to my ears for me.
Something about those accents, y'all.
Jamie Hayter, though.
Yeah, I mean Jamie Hayter though. She's
Jamie
changed her
Hayter.
look up quite a bit though.
And you want to know why? Because thick thighs save lives.
I mean,
but yeah,
special.
she's yeah, she and I love this because it's like she's doing what Britt Baker can't do at the moment because, of course, her wrist. But she's continuing on the feud with Red Velvet, and she's eventually going to end up going against Chris Statlander, which I'm still all for. So I look forward to this. I look forward to her wrestling while Britt Baker gets healthy, because this will take a lot of the heat off of Britt Baker and allow her to heal during that time while she cuts promos and still continues to build heat and more and put more attention onto her feuds moving forward. So that way she's not lost in the shuffle or having to be forgotten with anything along the way. So
Hey, you're fine.
And look, even Loki wants to see Britt Baker, but I mean, it's what we all have to deal with. So
yeah, he was a little mad when we all saw her and he didn't.
I get that. I get that. But hey, it is what it is. I'm definitely fine with it. Just like we talked about with Jade Cargill, she announced that she was going to have a match with Kira Hogan, who Kira Hogan left Impact, right?
Yeah, she got beat down.
Yeah,
she got betrayed.
So yeah, left Impact, and so now we know where she's going. Clearly, AEW, either AEW or she's just going to the Independents, and this is just another one of her appearances. So
yeah,
it's possible, but I look forward to that, and that's going to happen on Rampage.
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I feel like I'm missing one more. I think backstage.
I don't think we talked about the Andrade. I mean, sorry, the Death Triangle. I know Jaeger brought up the Death Triangle promo, but we didn't get into it.
Yeah, Pac was talking basically accepting Andrade's challenge, and it's going to be for All Out in the same in the same place, in the same building that he took down the infamous. I mean, he used another adjective, but I'm saying infamous, the infamous Kenny Omega, and took care of that. So he's basically going to do the same thing to Andrade, per his words. But I don't think that's the case. I think this is going to be the inevitable end of Death Triangle. I would be surprised if it isn't, but you know, it just seems to be going that way, especially how it's set up with Pac being the one to go after Andrade. And yeah,
it was once again looking sharp.
As always.
Rocking that suit.
To I guess to add to the motif of what could potentially be a new Latin stable within AEW. Well, completely Latin stable, because Pac is not Latin. So, but yeah, I think we might be getting a more serious LWO type stable with the way that it's going, because I think Andrade might start basically recruiting a lot of the luchadors within AEW, and then probably across other promotions, i.e. AAA, potentially Impact, ROH, if anything. Hell, they Look, he might even do something with Lij because it
That
would
would be
make the
awesome.
most sense.
Well, wasn't he part of?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
was a founding
Yeah.
member.
Mm-hmm. That which is why it would make some sense. So we could potentially get we could get an American based Lij right now at this point.
Finally, yeah.
Ooh, don't give me goosebumps like that.
Well, no, they wanted Andrade. They wanted Andrade to do that when he was in WWE, but WWE didn't let it happen.
And I think they wanted him to do that with Roosh too, right?
I think so. Because I know it would have been, and then that's when they thought that maybe Andrade was going to align himself with Legado, and then they was going to kind of rebrand as Lij America. But once again, it didn't happen. So he could actually bring Lij America here.
The possibilities that AEW is bringing to the table is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to them for that. But yeah, I think that may have been it as far as like all the rest of the backstage segments because because we got Moxley. Oh, that's what it was. The fucking Team Taz shit. Like,
oh yeah.
The only good thing about this was that Ricky Starks came out looking like the fucking Rock. Every show he's coming out more and more looking like Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what were you saying, Yeager?
So the commercial break before they cut to Taz, they were chanting Hook. Well, I mean, at first when Hook was coming out, we were chanting Hook, but then a couple of people in the section opposite me, like on the cam side, started chanting Justin Bieber in reference to Hook's haircut, and and Taz acknowledged it for a second. Goes like, "Yeah, he may look like his haircut he may look like Justin Bieber, but let me tell you, he would kick his ass or some shit like that."
Nice way to rebound that shit, Taz.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they came out. Ricky Starks tried to call out Brian Cage, but then it was a swerve because Brian Cage was getting beat up by a returning Hobbs because he was gone for who knows how long doing who knows what. And then they cut everything and then ran to the back.
So
that was the other thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Scoot, but that was the other disappointment on the match card was that they advertised Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage, and we got that instead.
Yeah. Because the way they were talking, I thought Team Taz was about to debut a new member.
Yeah, it kind of had that vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this show did not need that segment. We could have completely done without it.
It didn't at all.
But hey, it's fine. It's fine because there's nothing wrong when you add a little bit of the sprinkle of the women's division, especially when the main spice in that sprinkle is Thunder Rosa.
Can we talk about Thunder Rosa though?
Oh my golly, Thunder Rosa though.
Repping good old Tejas.
Thunder Rosa.
Absolutely.
Though. Like
at first I was confused as to why this match was happening.
I was too.
But then they revealed it was for the tag team eliminator. I mean, not the tag. Wow, the women's championship eliminator.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool that Penelope Ford is getting the heel push that she deserves at this point, like, able to show more of her work. Nothing wrong with that. But
can I just say though, for the one time, Penelope Ford though.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll give her. I'll give her though, but I'm not the biggest fan.
Oh no, I'm not. But I mean, the fit she had on, and honestly, the performance she gave.
I was like, You gonna wrestle in that? Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Like what's up with the gear? Where's like your regular gear?
Yeah.
But
You
it
know
is what
what?
it is.
It hit.
It hit.
You know whose gear really hit though? Thunder
Thunder
Rosa's.
Rosa
Thunder
though.
Rosa.
She came out in Texas gear,
Yes.
repping Texas flag, carrying Texas flag for the one night only because she normally carries the Mexican flag.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
we lost our collective shit as her music hit, and then when
I'm
she
pretty
came
sure
out
she'll
with the
do it
flag,
again if they ever go to San Antonio, since that's technically her home.
yeah, because they kept saying
yeah,
now that because of course Mexico, but she's it's her adopted
Yeah.
home.
yeah, she
So
would
hey, look,
be. No, she was some kind of a social worker in Texas prior to this. I can't ever remember what
mm-hmm.
it was, but yeah, she was a Texas social worker for a while before she got here, and
Okay.
damn, like Texas has plenty of love for her. And during the Austin show, during what was that Fighter Fest? Like, yeah, like all of Texas popped for her.
Yeah, she and it's good too because I think before this show happened, I think with the last place that they were, I think where I think it was where they were for Rampage. They did some what's the word I'm looking for? Wow.
Promos.
No.
Oh, promotion.
We'll just say some philanthropy work. I
Yes.
think
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they because I think they did like a food drive and stuff like that, and they were just they helped out, and there
Charity.
was there was some charity stuff. There was another word that was on my mind. I don't know what it was, but it's okay. We got the gist. Then Scoot helped along with the charity shit. So, but it was her, Mark Henry. I don't know if it was Trent or somebody else. Jungle Boy or Jungle Man, along with.
Grip and leather.
But speaking of grip and leather, the Queen Slayer was there as well.
Mm.
But yeah, they are all doing some work wherever they were for Rampage. That's where they did some of that charity. But so I'm assuming that's now she's basically attaching it onto AEW and helping them do that shit for AEW to basically give them that look as well. So
PR, oh,
they
PR work.
I still know what I'm looking for, but it's cool. It's cool.
Never mind.
Look, public relations helps as well. They look either way. Thunder Rosa is making sure that she's doing the stuff that she's meant to do outside of the ring as well. So good on her for that. And I appreciate that because there's nothing better than continuing to give back while, especially when you're on the rise with AEW as well. So not continuing to make sure that her roots are still well planted wherever she goes. So I like that. But we know what this match was. This match was clearly just prepped for Thunder Rosa to win. There's no reason why she shouldn't be winning because of the fact that she's meant to face Britt Baker for that title. Is she going to take that title? Who knows? But as of right
It's gonna
now,
be either her or Statlander.
yeah. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But yeah, not much to this match. I mean, I hate saying that, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not much stock put behind a lot of people at one time. And
volunteer work, the word you was looking for.
Volunteer work. There, thank you.
Because I found the picture you was talking about, and that was one of her hashtags.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
What out of all words?
Volunteer work.
I couldn't think of volunteer work.
Yeah, it was Wardlow, it was Henry, Thunder Rosa, Starks,
Wardlow, that's who it was.
Man, Anna J. There's a few other people I can't recognize. But yeah, those were some of the people who were there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, that definitely good shit on that. But clearly, we go from this match. We go from this match, and we get to labor number 5.
You
Not
are
Mambo.
beautiful on the inside. You are
Now,
innocent person. Now, don't get me started because I can sing the whole thing now.
MJF came out first.
I was about to say because I will literally sing the whole thing right now.
It's no surprise that MJF came out first,
Which he needed to.
He needed to
He
for
did
this.
need to.
Because of the fact that you would have to see his reaction to them singing Judas. And yeah, he came out first. He threw shit on the crowd, not surprising. And then
all the middle
silence. Then the silence happened. And then Jericho came out. And then Jericho himself was serenaded.
Yes. Not only serenaded, but they sung the whole thing that he comes out to.
Now, I will say this because I did laugh a little bit because it's something that tends to happen anytime people sing Judas is that people know the hook, they know the key points of the song, but they don't know the parts of like the first part. Yeah. So you could hear the beginning very loud, and then in certain parts, people you heard people kind of die out, and then you heard them explode during the hook. The one thing it reminded me of, because I know a lot of people are in the same boat, is when you were in elementary school or middle school and you were in a class of see, I know you know where I'm going.
Oh, god damn it.
And so everybody kind of went down the line to be like, okay, we're gonna read this chapter here. And you get to that one person in class who just is like completely unaware or does not realize that, what page they're on or whatever, and they have to read that paragraph. And then you hear them start off in like the first sentence. In the second sentence, you kind of hear them die out because they're trying to make sure that they get everything right. And then they come back up after they realize what they're reading. But yeah, that's exactly what it was at the first part of them singing Judas, because they would come out and then start singing like the first part perfectly fine. But then once they start getting into it, you heard half the crowd kind of get like a little quiet. And then once you get to the hook of Judas, everybody just fucking erupts. So, yeah, but still, you could see the look on Jericho's face. He was just elated.
Hold on. Now you said that. Let me get there.
Okay.
His exact message. While the outcome wasn't what I wanted, spoiler alert, last night on AEW Dynamite was one of the greatest moments of my career. Thank you, Houston. The acapella version of Judas was incredible. It's something I'll never forget. There's a great story about that, and I'll tell you someday. As of today, I have some serious soul searching to do.
Interesting.
So that was his message on IG today.
Well, that was a personal thank you to Jaeger and the city of Houston, right? But primarily Jaeger, though. Primarily Jaeger.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, on behalf of the Houstonians in attendance, and of course Jericho, we say you're welcome, and they're proud to have done that.
Yes.
Can't wait to hear your that story.
Yes. So, Jaeger, how was it? How was that? How was the sing along?
Me and my buddy, we had I told him I would record, and then he'd pull up the lyrics and we'd sing it. But like me and him, just like the other thousands of fans that were there, we were, I guess, to Lip's point, we were a little unsure on where to start out. But we just kind of jumped in with the crowd once our section was like in tune with it. But
that beginning was kind of rocky.
It was.
I mean, I guess everybody was trying to figure out where to start at. But
the thing is, I wonder, was Jericho even expecting the whole thing?
Seeing his reaction, maybe not. Like maybe he wasn't.
I don't think Jericho was expecting the whole part. I think he was just expecting the I become because I mean he got to the ring pretty quick,
Yeah,
So
like he did hit the pyro, and damn, I say this about every time pyro gets hit, but damn, you really feel those flames.
yes, you really do. I'll never
Like,
forget when I felt Kane's flames, and I'm like, fam, we up here. How am I
Yeah.
feeling? So I can imagine what those people down there are feeling.
I mean, if I ever get to a point where I'm at the entrance ramp for a show, I just hope that there's not pyro of that level, because then I'd probably be sweating. But man, like it was great to see the smile on that man's face as we're just singing this song along, and also MJF's like rageous, I shouldn't say rageous, but rage induced pop from it all.
He did not like that shit at all.
And then to follow it up with like right after the song and the bell rings to MJF sucks was pretty damn great too.
Yeah, MJF had fantastic kill work, as he always does, of course.
Oh yeah.
It's especially with him grabbing the fucking camera and then flipping off everybody.
Yes.
Oh man, like he stole Jericho's spot of using the camera, and like a lot of us were like, "The fuck you."
And then the fact that Jericho popped up and just
yeah, right.
Yeah, I was wondering how long. Go ahead.
So, Jaeger, what was the collective crowd like when Jericho tapped out?
After so many like near falls, and then to see him tap out like that, it was quiet at first, just like in like disbelief, but then it was immediately followed up with boos to MJF. But just we were just like, my buddy and I, we were just very I shouldn't say very disappointed, but we were just like sad to see Jericho lose, especially like tapping out to an armbar like that.
Yeah.
I mean, all fairness that it be the injured arm and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only part I didn't like about it personally,
the armbar was supposed to be right.
I don't like the fact that the bat shot happened. Like, what was the point of using the bat
if you weren't going to get the win from it?
Yeah, because I mean, I understand you couldn't do the Judas, but you could have hit the code breaker or something.
He could have, but now to me, I thought the same way, but then it made sense afterwards because it was like he in his mind, it's like he wasn't thinking about the code breaker because now had that Judas effect attempt been a lot quicker, I think it would have come off a lot better. But he had time to think about the Judas effect before that happened. So that's where my mind is. But I think, if he would have used the bat and then tried to go for the Judas effect and then stopped himself, But with him hitting the bat, MJF kind of sitting there hunched over for like too long, and then him trying to go for the Judas effect and then stopping himself.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird, but and I was assuming that Jericho was going to win, but once he tapped, I was like, you know what?
It makes sense. It makes sense that MJF is his just thorn that he just cannot, he just cannot get out of his ass in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
MJF is just the one person. What, this the third time he lost to MJF?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it makes sense, and this is why I even said that MJF winning the title a little bit earlier than all the other the potential future champs within, Jungle Boy, Darby, Ricky Starks, Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of where he is right now, with him getting 3 and out on Jericho, with him being the leader of the Pinnacle, with the push that he has, with him only having a loss with which he would put an asterisk on top on the side of that against John Moxley makes complete sense. And it is almost the perfect build for the future of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So I say almost because he has yet to win a title in AEW. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens from that point on. I enjoyed the hell out of this episode of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So definitely some things I could have done without, but I mean, I guess that comes with the territory. You know, the whole Paul White thing, the shit with Team Taz, the
And Dan
Dan Lambert shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could have definitely done without seeing Paul White's stitched ass.
You ain't like that stitched ass, man?
I don't like stitches on myself, man. Why would I want to see stitched ass?
But yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to see no stitched ass either. But but yeah. We got any final thoughts on AEW Dynamite?
I mean, let's ask the man who was there.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, what, me? Oh, hey.
Oh, you.
Honestly, being there live made it just so much better. It like AEW live crowds. There's no complaints about the wrestlers. Like there's like yeah, you got your boos, you got everything else, but there really are no complaints about the wrestlers or their performance. Like every match is met with cheers. Every match, like you're involved the whole time. It reminds me. I shouldn't say it reminds me of WWE, but it reminds me of WWE in like their glory days, or I should say like during their not. I mean, the mix between the Attitude Era turning into what was it you called it, Ruthless Aggression Era?
Yeah, with the aggression era.
Yeah, it reminds me like of what a pure like big time wrestling show should be, and loved all of it. Just can't say it enough that I loved all of it. And I just hope, or I just wish AEW a long and prosperous promotion slash career slash revolution or or whatever you want to call it, a life of a company. Tony Khan, you're doing the right work. You're doing an amazing job. I mean, this also goes out to Young Bucks, Cody, Kenny, for just having their fingers on the pulse.
I definitely agree with that. Scoot, you got any final thoughts?
I mean, Jaeger kind of wrapped it up beautifully, if I say so.
Oh,
yeah, because I mean, I had the same thought about the feel of previous WWE. So you kind of hit that on the nail. I was trying not to say it, but that's exactly the same feel that I got when I watch it, which is why I keep praising this particular episode of AEW Dynamite. So yeah, definitely. But since that's out the way, Scoot, where the fuck can these people find you?
Once again, I told y'all before, if you think you at the pinnacle, look up. I'm above y'all. I'm on the stool.
True. That's
up
true.
There, way up there.
You like
you know
up.
Yeah, up. But it's been scrolling at the bottom. Of course, the ScooterRay, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Why I always keep forgetting where I at? YouTube. Like I said, it's all down there. Of course, Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, Boss, Aranya, myself, and Xerxes. We all on the same platforms. But you can also catch us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor, with the Ninja Banter podcast,
Absolutely.
You can find us. That's where you can find me. If you want me outside of the wrestling box, you can find me with the ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Other than other than me, though, the person y'all need to be finding was the man who was on TV last night. You know, the heartthrob of this group,
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
That's
Yeager.
right. That's right.
Mr. Yeager, what can the people,
Oh, my gosh.
especially the ladies,
The ladies.
find you at?
You can find me at a local wrestling show near you. Hopefully on the hard cam side, but I'll find tickets where I can get them. But just like Scoot just said, scrolling down here, that's lips though. Mine is over here. It's coming along.
You guys better save the best for last.
Oh,
Right there. Right there. See
brother,
that? Bam.
Bam. Instagram, Twitch, and if you really want to game Xbox, PlayStation, I'm there. I'm with it. Jaeger Bombastic.
With it.
True story.
Bring it.
True story. But of course, yep, this guy is who I am.
That guy.
I can say it now. Finally, instead of me like rumoring it over and over fucking again. Lifestyle 1UP. Of course, the podcast you can find on all your podcast listening platforms if you need that good old daily dose on your IGs, on your TikToks, on your Twitters. And as of next week, finally,
count it down.
Lifestyle 1UP's YouTube will be officially launching, so that way you won't, if you're just too lazy to have to go to the goddamn podcast, all you gotta do is go next door from this YouTube channel over to Lifestyle 1UP to get that good old positivity. But that's not all, because if you want to shoot the shit on any social media platform that Lip Dizzle is a part of or is attached to, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. Found that word quick. Is attached to your IGs, your Twitters, your TikToks, Twitch, but we may abolish that to go to YouTube because that YouTube will also be very much active next week as well on the gaming shit, potential wrestling shit. Yeah, look, we've been working over here, period. But regardless of that, this show is what's important. This episode is what's important. So whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, comment down below, hit that notification bell, and as always, motherfucking subscribe.
Do it.
But until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, again, I bid you all adieu, and I give you all a mother effing taggeth out.